Coming up on today's episode, we'll get into the Marquee Matchups. Head into the NFL weekend. Week 11 it is. We got some great matchups. How about Thursday Night Football? Travion Henderson taking care of business for the Patriots as they get another big win into the division. So we're going to hop right into this episode here. You know, if you're new, episodes are airing every Tuesday and Saturday morning now. It's a beautiful Saturday morning today. Feels great. Beautiful weather here in Florida. This is the weather we like. Not too hot, not too cool. We got a little breeze going. So it feels great here. Check out the website, sportstalkfromthecrib.com. We're going to stream the podcast on there. It's available on all streaming platforms as well. Social media, Feel the Heat Entertainment, YouTube, X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Catch the YouTube shorts we're putting out and the videos on those sites. Subscribe. Give a follow. Coco Bean and I are doing our game picks, so stay tuned for that on Sunday morning. We're going to pick probably some of the games I'm going to discuss here today on the podcast. So let's hop into it here. You know, our first marquee matchup of NFL Week 11 is the Buccaneers at the Buffalo Bills. Both teams are 6-3. Both teams trying to stay around that division. You know, Bills falling back now with that big Patriots win on Thursday night. Travion Henderson, the rookie, they're Patriots fans. This is why the Patriots are running away now. Ramondre Stevenson, the fumbler. This is start right here real quick. The fumbler for you guys. He's been hurt the last couple games. Now the rookie finally getting his chance to shine. And the Patriots got a running game. He had another 3-touchdown performance. Ran the ball well. He didn't have the long runs like he had in Buccaneers on past Sunday, but efficient. You guys have your running back, Drake May being efficient, Stephon Diggs being efficient. The Patriots playing good defense. That's why they're number one right now in the AFC and their division. So the Bills got some catching up to do. Like I said, Bucs Bills 6-3. Both teams coming out bad losses. Bills had a horrible loss in Miami last week, 30-13. Buccaneers lost to the Patriots 28-23. This led up some huge plays in that game. Speaking of Travion Henderson, but two of them were with him, those long runs, 60-plus yard runs, and then the long pass play they had. So the Bucs defense was struggling last week. Key points in this matchup. It's going to come down to the run game for Buffalo. Dalton Kincaid, their tight end, is out. Get the run game back going. That's been Joe Brady's Achilles heel, I feel like. You know why you got to get the run game going for Buffalo. One, like I just said, Dalton Kincaid's out. You don't have the receiver. Keon Coleman, this ain't getting any separation. And Josh Allen just seems to not really trust him. But, I mean, you got Shakur. That's about the only guy you have really going in the offensive side of the ball outside of James Cook. So the important thing is get James Cook involved early and often. Because despite the Bills losing 3 games and having that horrible game in Miami last week, they're still number 1 offense in regards to rush. Number 2 overall. And the biggest thing is they have 5-0 this year when James Cook rushes for over 100 yards. The run game is going to be very important in this one. On both sides, really. Buccaneers defense is 11th against the rush. And the Bills defense is 30th against the rush. That's been the problem because if they get down early, they tend to abandon that run game that's been so efficient and prolific for them. And the Buccaneers offense is 25th on offense for the rush. So Bucky Irving is still out for the game. Rashad White, Sean Tucker are your guys in the backfield for the Buccaneers. So see if the Buccaneers can get the run game going themselves because Baker Mayfield is still balling. Still being efficient despite being down Mike Evans, McMillan, Godwin, and it's being in and out receivers. Ibuka, the rookie, has been sensational. Thank goodness for him in that offense. And the tight end, Cade Otton, has really stepped up in the absence of those wide receivers. So we'll see if Tez McMillan, the rookie, can maybe take an advantage in that Bills defense that's kind of suspect in the secondary. So Buccaneers offense, can you run the ball a little bit, take the pressure off Baker Mayfield? Because That is the key on both sides for both of these teams. Who's going to win the rushing battle? Who's going to win the battle in the trenches? Is Bills going to run the ball? Use Josh Allen, James Cook effectively in the run game? Is the Buccaneers going to be able to stop it? The Bills are horrible against the rush. Can the Buccaneers at least get something going in the run game and take advantage of that? We'll see. Coach Sean McDermott is going for his 100th career win. You couldn't get it last week. You're back at home in a place that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have never won. The franchise has never won in Buffalo. So you got something going for you, Bills fans. I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills in this game to win. I expect them to bounce back because they are at home. Tampa going to be a little chilly up there. They're not, Baker Mayfield doesn't care, but I still expect a good game from him. But I'm still going to go with the Bills. I think they're going to bounce back in this one. The Buccaneers, unfortunately, will keep falling, but they're going to still be ahead of the division. This is a must-win game for the Bills to try and stay pace with the schedule coming up against those New England Patriots. I'm going to roll with them. And Sean McDermott getting his 100th win as a coach for the Bills. And I expect James Cook to be involved, not just in the run game, but the screen game, quick passes, run these little halfback screens, halfback angle routes and whatnot. I'm rolling with the Buccaneers. Okay, the next game, a huge NFC West divisional matchup. Seahawks at the Rams. Both teams sitting at 7-2. They still got the Niners in the rear view. Only 3 losses themselves, but this is a huge game because I'm just interested in, are these offenses for real with these guys? Are the defenses for real? Both of them play pretty similar ball. Sam Darnold been outstanding for the Seahawks this year. This is break it down with him and Matthew Stafford. 2,262 passing yards, 7 TDs, 6 picks. Matthew Stafford on the year, 2,427 yards, 25 TDs, 2 picks. The guy has thrown for 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions in his last 6 games. It's unheard of. The guy has been absolutely phenomenal. Matthew Stafford is like, to me, right behind Jonathan Taylor in terms of MVP. A lot of people throwing Drake May in there and, some other players. But to me, it's Jonathan Taylor number 1 and Matthew Stafford number 2 of what we've seen so far. The wide receiver matchup, we got Jackson Smith and Jigba on the Seahawks side. Puka Nacua on the Rams side. Smith and Jigba, 63 receptions, 1,041 yards, and 5 touchdowns on the year. Puka, 66 receptions, 775 yards, 4 TDs. You see the difference in yards there, than similar in catches. But Jackson Smith and Jigba and Sam Darnold have been the best 1-2 combo in the league this year. And Smith and Jigba, halfway through, man, he's almost there for Calvin Johnson. He's going for that record in receiving yards, and he may be able to get it. But we'll see in this matchup. Devontae Adams is a key one to watch for the Rams in this one. He's dealing with an oblique injury. He is questionable for the game, but I expect him to be out there. We'll see how limited he may be. Something to watch out for. Another cool thing to watch out for is Cooper Kupp. People forget he's on the Seattle Seahawks. Me too. With Smith and Jigba that's dominating the way he is and playing lights out, people forget Cooper Kupp was on there. Cooper Kupp returning to the Rams here for the game, and maybe a little awkward being in the opposite locker room. But remember, Cooper Kupp was the man. What was he, a Triple Crown winner? Like quadruple crown, I don't know what you call him in the NFL. When he led the league reception, receiving yards, and touchdowns and all that, he had an incredible year. He actually, I think, was third that year in MVP voting behind Stafford when they won the Super Bowl in Super Bowl 56, and he had that game-winning touchdown. So Cooper Kupp, there was a few years there he just could not be stopped at all in that offense, and he was a key part in the win the Super Bowl a few years back. So we'll see how that is for him. Maybe they Seahawks could get him a little bit involved, surprise the people when Smith and Jigba is going to be getting all that coverage. The Seahawks, like I said, their offense, they're averaging 30.6 points a game. They're third in offense. Rams are fifth, though, it's 27.9. They're second in points against. They're only allowing 17 points a game, the LA Rams. So it's something to look at in this game. Can the Rams defense stop Jackson, Smith, and Jigba? Like, it seems like nobody has been able to do that this year. That is the key matchup. And can the Seahawks slow down Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua and their offense? So this is my game of the week. This is the one I want to watch the most. I want to see if Sam Darnold falls off when the competition gets hot like he did last year when he was quarterbacking for the Minnesota Vikings. So it's a big game. We're going to find out if Sam Darnold is for real again, because we don't know if he's going to revert back to the old Sam Darnold or not. So I trust Matthew Stafford way more. Put it that way. Another cool thing about this game, the Rams. When they redid their uniforms, I was like, man, those super ugly uniforms with how they look. The blue, matte, plasticky looking finish and the gray. Like, this looks bad, right? To me. But they're going to debut the all-black uniforms, the rivalry uniforms in this game as well. I think they look pretty cool. So I'm going to roll with the Rams, not because of the uniforms, but I just trust in Matthew Stafford at home, in this the big divisional matchup, and Sean McVay. I trust them more in this big time. This could decide the NFC West. This has amplifications in regards to the division and staying at top in the NFC. So huge game, but I'm going to go with the Rams. I think they just can outscore them. Kind of like similar to the year, I expect how the Buccaneers offense, when they were all healthy, could outscore Seattle. So I think the Rams are one of the few teams that can outscore them and deal with their defense. Because Seattle's going to come after you. But I'm going to roll with the Rams in this one. Okay, the other big matchup we have is Sunday Night Football, Lions at Eagles. Lions currently 6-3, Eagles 7-2. It's a huge matchup. Like I said, we got some great NFC matchups here. Eagles, I'm talking about, they're 7-2. Lions 6-3. You look at that Rams Seahawks 7-2 apiece. Blues are, that game is going to mean the whole difference in who's going to be at the top of this NFC. But the Eagles just seem to somehow this win, no matter what, even when they look bad. Nick Sirianni, good fact, he's 11-0 versus the NFC North, and they're at home. So they got a huge advantage here, but they're been ridiculed over the past few weeks because of how their offense is and what their team looks like. But like I said, they somehow just win games, but it's looked way worse this year than last year. There's been no explosive plays whatsoever. Saquon Barkley only has 579 rushing yards on the year. I felt like he had over 1,000 at this point last year. I can't look into it, but it's been pretty stagnant. I'm not seeing those big 20-plus yard rushes all the time like we were seeing last year as well. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, you're seeing it from the Lions at times. Jahmyr Gibbs had a big 3 TD performance last week. Granted, it was Washington. Dan Campbell is back calling the plays. Everybody's making a big deal about it. Hey, why aren't you guys, when they've had that loss to the Vikings, why can't you guys get Gibbs the ball in space and be out there? Hey, why can't you, Jameson Williams ever get a pass thrown to him? So in that last game, he made it a point. Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams are going to get the ball. Yeah, Amon St. Brown is great. The other receiver, Sam Laporta, is great. He is out for this game. So that's a huge injury for the Lions going into this. Sam Laporta, tight end, is actually going to be out for this game. But anyways, you guys playmakers of the ball. So St. Brown's going to be really heavy involved in this one. Jameson Williams got to be heavy involved. Take some shots down the field. Give him some quick slant rounds, screens or something, then maybe he can make some, run after the catch. I expect to see that in this game. But the other big glaring thing here, are the Eagles going to throw the ball to A.J. Brown? He made it a point. It's been circulating in the media all week long. I guess he said it playing a video game this past week. Maybe he was playing Madden. I forget what I saw on there. Where he said, this is horrible. And it is. Last week against the Packers, he had 2 catches for 13 yards. He's had moments like he only has 408 yards on the year, but a lot of it came in a couple of those games. It's been pretty much just non-existent out there, not throwing the ball his way. He has only 3 TDs on the year, 31 catches on 54 targets. Eagles, get the man the ball. utilize one of the best wideouts in the game. That's going to be a key matchup in this game. I expect A.J. Brown to at least get 10 targets in this game. You're going to have to get with the Lions. You're not going to be able to win ugly like you did, because the Lions will come back and hit you in the mouth. They're ready for this. Dan Campbell's ready for this. I expect a big game from his squad. But I also expect the Eagles, for them to win this game, give the ball to A.J. Brown. Make it a point to try and get him involved. You're going to have to, especially in the second half and as the game late in the game. So, as for who I'm taking in this game, I mean, it's a toss-up with me because I don't know if A.J. Brown's actually going to get the ball, but I know Dan Campbell's going to make it a point to get all his Gibbs, St. Brown, and Jameson Williams the ball in offense. So, I think I just got to take a chance. Even though Nick Sirianni and these Eagles, they played the NFC North really well. They're undefeated. I hate to pick them. I want Detroit line. My heart says Detroit because I don't like the Eagles. But the Eagles will somehow find a way to win. But this could be an NFC Championship matchup preview as well. I'm going with Dan Campbell and the Lions. I have to pick them. I just can't go with the Eagles. I'm going with the heart. Probably should go in my head and say the Eagles because they're at home. But my heart's taking over on this one. I'm going to roll with the Detroit Lions in a close one. Maybe like a 27-24 type game. All right, everybody. That's going to wrap up today's episode. I want to thank you for joining me here on Sports Talk from the crib with your favorite sports host, Tanner Christian. Remember, new episodes every Tuesday and Saturday morning. So they're available on all streaming platforms. It's available on the website, sportstalkfromthecrib.com. Check us out on there. You can stream the podcast there as well. Social media at Feel the Heat Entertainment, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube. So be on the lookout for our game picks. Be posted up on YouTube and all our streaming formats. Subscribe, follow. Y'all have a great weekend. Like I said, I want to enjoy the outdoors here today. Then Sunday, I want to watch some football. So everybody enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you on Tuesday.